yes, I messed up as a principal. Oh my goodness. And that's why the term pre-forgive someone has such meaning for us. It comes because, I messed up. I messed up on a lot of things. Um, Handling parents differently, handling children differently. Now I wish that I had asked more questions, that I had sort of peeled back the layer of the onion, if you will, because we all have our own personal stories. And sometimes you don't know what those are and you judge way too quickly. Um, and you assume things that are so inaccurate. And so I learned at a very late stage in my career the importance of listening, being better listeners, trying to get to the root of what's going on with someone. You know, we respond out of two emotions, fear and love. And so if we can just remember that, that's a guiding principle, if you will, for me. Oh, but yes, did I make mistakes? Tons of them. Um, but also knowing my why brought me right back to why I was doing, you know, what I was doing. I have been so fortunate to have worked for people that forgave me for my mistakes. Um, and I learned to say, you're sorry. I learned very quickly the power of not trying to cover anything up, not trying to blame someone else, but to take ownership, and say that you're sorry. You regret what happened. You'll try not to make that same mistake again. Um, and that's why I think I remained as a principal as long as I did, because I did mess up every day, but I learned how to say I'm sorry and I'll try not to do that again. And that would be my advice, to always be honest, to be as transparent as you can possibly be, and to humble yourself to ask for forgiveness. Um, and it works.
Yeah, one of my notes that I've kept here, I'm going to go through them real quickly, from 11 years ago. So I had pre-forgiveness on there. I had fall in love with teaching, because I was overseeing some teachers then. I wanted to make sure that they really understood that that's got to be something they're passionate with. I love that we talked about children will meet the expectations that are set for them. I know these are ones that are really true to your heart, because I like wrote down, like when I could just feel your like soul reach out, I'm like, God, I got to make sure I pay attention to that. One of the things that my wife is now the chief of staff for her school district, but she was the director of talent. I gave her this quote again from 11 years ago, just a reminder of, like, you said, you can teach anyone pedagogy of teaching, but you can't teach them the love or the passion of which to do. And so that's something that I really took to heart. And the last thing, uh, I don't want to, there is a Miss Rose story that I'm sure you said 1,000 times, but selfishly for me, and maybe the few folks who have not heard it, like I would love to just have a small version of why did I write down Miss Rose's name? And it was something, why was she was in my notes 3 or 4 times that day.
Oh, I can hardly say her name without crying. And I've told the story so many times. But I think it speaks to the power of an educator that truly loves children. I grew up in rural North Carolina, the granddaughter of a cotton farmer, where most of the children in our community were sons and daughters of farmers or mill workers. And so our futures, um, outside of just staying in that community, just really weren't there for us unless we had parents who showed us something differently. And fortunately for me, I had a mother who did that. But Miss Rose also did that for us on a daily basis through the lessons that she taught us and the places she said we could go one day. And, she made everything come alive for us. But she also believed in us. I have story after story, but the one that's the most compelling is the one when our class all came together to honor her, and this was at her passing. But, we realized in that moment that Miss Rose told everyone that we were her favorite students. She said, "Oh, Muriel, you're my favorite student." And then she would say to Johnny, "Johnny, you're my favorite student." She would say to Vicky, "You're my favorite student." And none of us knew that she told the other that, but she made us all feel that we were. I realized then the incredible opportunity educators have to do one of two things. You can either leave your heart print on a child that will last a lifetime, or you can leave a scar, an open wound, if you will, that will never heal. And I had teachers that fell into those two camps. One, Miss Rose, who made us all feel that anything was possible, and the daily messages of you were special, you were loved, you were destined to do great things with your life, still remain on the hearts of all those students she taught.